What's up, Planeswalkers? It's your boy K-Dog, back in standard with a Golgari style Reanimator list. This one's pretty similar to the Rakdos Drana list I came up with. So Drana here is a 5-mana 4/4 legendary vampire cleric, and whenever she attacks, defending player chooses a non-legendary creature card in her graveyard, and we turn that card to the battlefield with a +1/+1 counter on it. This is a vampire distributes other types for whatever that is worth. Last time we were in all 4 Dranas because we were kind of a little more all in on that strategy, discarding some big creatures and things like that, and then just trying to make sure we have a Drana to get one of them back. This one we're trying to incorporate a little more things to kind of give us a little more well-rounded game, so we don't necessarily have to rely on Drana, but we still want to see her pretty often, so we're in 3 copies here. So starting at the top here, we got 4 Bloodchiefs there, since we're a little bit more of a later game deck, just trying to play Drana on 5 and then get that reanimation value afterwards. So early interaction, so 4 copies of Bloodchief Source, which of course works great in the late game as well. Okay, so kind of the same thing with that deck. We got 2 copies of Malakir Rebirth. Just want to try to keep our Drana alive, but also works well with some of our other bigger threats as well. Nullpriest of Oblivion is another way for us to get creatures back straight to the battlefield. We can kick it for 6 mana, play our Nullpriest here as a 2/1 Menace Lifelinker, and then get his creature card straight back from the battlefield, from our graveyard to the battlefield. And if we need to play this on 2 for our opponents not really playing a whole lot of threats, then we got Menace Lifelink as well. We can start beating them down with this one. Lotus Cobra gives us a little bit of ramp here. Another excuse for your opponent to maybe use up some removal as well. 3 copies of Murderous Rider is fantastic removal, of course. 4 copies of Llanowar Visionary to kind of help us ramp and draw us a card here as well. With a Visionary on 3, if they don't have removal for it, we can potentially play a Drana on turn 4 and play a little bit ahead of curve, which is nice. 4 copies of Hagra Mauling, just a really great card. Removal and a land at the same time. Quest Beast is a legendary creature, so we can't actually get it back with Drana, but it's still just a good card all around, and we're just kind of trying to diversify our threats just a little bit and kind of fleshing out the 4-drop slot. So 1 copy here of Questing Beast. 2 copies here of Nissa. Also, she kind of fits with our reanimation theme, since we do have some creatures here on the lower end with our Visionary, Cobra, and Nullpriest, so they're pretty easy to get back. And of course, she sticks around for a little bit. She can get back some of our bigger threats as well. So another option for you to reanimate. And we have some other creatures here in the earlier turns, so we can kind of help keep our Nissa alive. 2 copies of Elder Gargaroth, another way for us to kind of round out our diversify our threats. Just a really fantastic value and powerful creature on its own. 2 copies here of Beanstalk Giant, just a little more ramp and fixing, and also just being a bigger threat here later on. 3 copies of Void Beckoner and 3 copies of Titanoth Rex. So we can cycle these away, put them in our graveyard, and then Drana can get them back, Nissa can get them back, or Nullpriest can get them back as well. Obviously, Nissa makes it a little bit hard because it's based on the number of lands you control in play as far as getting creatures back, and these are obviously pretty expensive. But if the game drags on for some reason, that's an option. Most likely you're going to cycle these away, draw a card, and then get them back with either Drana or the Nullpriest here. Space Godzilla puts a Death Touch counter on a creature when you cycle it, and Titanoth Rex puts a cycling counter, or not cycling counter, a trample counter when you cycle it. So that's going to be pretty important as well. Especially if you can cycle this and put a counter on your Quest Beast, Death Touch, trample, pretty good. Mana base here, 6 Swamp, 6 Forest, 4 Temple of Malady, and then the 4 Fabled Passage. Pretty intense mana cost here with double black, double green, and things like that. So just trying to have the right mana at the right times. And of course we have the Hagra Maulings and the Malakir Rebirths to round out our mana base as well. Sideboard here, we've got 4 copies of Duress, 2 copies of Eliminate for the more aggressive matchups, 2 copies of Return Nature when we need some artifact and enchantment hate, 2 Scavenging Ooze for graveyard hate, 1 Necromentia for Ugin and things like that, 2 Eat 2 Extinctions for some exile removal, and 2 Vivien for the more grindier matchups. That's the deck. We're jumping to some matches. Alright, against Kirsten P. A couple of Dranas. It's interesting. Go and crack this now for a black source. Nullpriest next turn. A Bright Climb Pathway. That's the white-black. Yep. Another passage. Alright, so we got our balance here. 2 swamps, 2 forests. We got the Hagra Mauling open to us. Just need another land for Drana. And something in our graveyard to actually get back with it. Alright, what do you got over there? Try hard. clerics. Clerics. Oh, we got Menace, so we're gonna get in there. Playing Nullpriest too. Okay. We have a temple here. We'll crack our passage. Now we have Hagra Mauling open to us. And I think we just kill it now. Don't let them get any more triggers. This seems like a really bad card, but I feel like it's worth running, so just kind of surprised to see that in the ranked queue. Opponent with nothing. Okay, well, we got Temple of Malady, so we can find something juicy. I mean, we know they're running a bunch of clerics, so the removal is good. Kind of need something to fit in our graveyard, though. And we have a Hagra Mauling, so we'll bottom. Hopefully they give us a target for a Mauling that we can Drana and see what happens if they kill it. We have a second one at least. I mean, they're Orzhov colors, so they should. They have their own Nullpriest. You gonna attack with your Skyclave? No. No, we're gonna kill your Nullpriest. There we go. There we got a cycling target. Alright, play Drana. If they don't kill it, we'll just cycle our Void Beckoner here. Space Godzilla. Void Invader. Oh, looking at our graveyard. Yes, they don't feel threatened by anything yet. Go ahead and crack this now. So now we have Malakir Rebirth open to us. Cycle this away. Alright, you only got one choice. Oh, look at that. 9/9 Space Godzilla. Alright, we'll hold up in the Titanoth Rex here. Of course, we're running Shadow of the Sky. All these cute creature decks always do that. Alright, if they don't have any other answers for us, then we were going to cycle and put the trample counter on the Void Beckoner. Opponent down to 2. Alright, no other protection spells, so if they have another Shatter, then kind of sucks. You need multiple Shadow of the Skies. That's how bad your deck is. You have to run Shadow of the Sky. Your creature deck is so bad you have to run multiple Shadow of the Skies in your main deck. That's it? That's all you got? That's all you got, clerics? Oh my goodness. That was dumb. Alright, so we want to deal with these clerics a little bit more, so we'll bring in the eliminates, shave off a couple 2-drops to make room. Necromentia, the Shadow of the Skies. Doesn't see any enchantment removal, so probably don't need to return to nature. We're able to grind through those board wipes pretty good. But I'm assuming they'll still have them, so let's shave off. Nope. Shave off a couple our cyclers. Since we're not as likely to get the Drana value this time, we got pretty lucky there. So we'll bring the Vivien so we can kind of grind out through the removal. Necromentia can hit the Shadow of the Sky, or we can figure out something else if we don't find it in time. If we can just keep our board intact, I think we can definitely outclass what their clerics are trying to do. Obviously, a mono white life gain player. I'd love to keep this rebirth again, but I don't think we have the option, so we're going to play it out as land. We got Cobra. Oh, now we're drawing some lands. Now we're playing with fire. So we can, let's see, we can Cobra and Nullpriest next turn. You got me. I'm gonna Shatter the Sky again. Alright, next turn we have Drana or Gargaroth. See what they do here. I'll just take it for now. Okay. I feel like they're holding up to Shadow the Sky here. But we have Drana in hand, so I think I'm just going to run out the Gargaroth, swing with the Nullpriest, try to gain 2. I could have a removal spell here for 2 mana. Or even if they wipe the board, we can just follow up with Drana. I mean, they had triple Shadow Sky last time. That was pretty crazy. Yeah, it was pretty obvious. I don't know why they're so obsessed with that card. Like, your deck is that bad, you have to run Shadow the Sky. And kill your own things. 2 lands and a Hagra Mauling. Not ideal to have another removal spell here. Temple of Malady. Scry something that's not a land. We'll take a Drana. Alright, so no reason to play the Hagra Mauling because we knew the Shatter was coming. Scavenger is pretty bad. Speaker's pretty dangerous, but not until they get up to their life total a little bit higher. I do need to thin the deck and just draw something that's not lands. So, Fabled Passage. See if they have a kill spell for it. 2 cards in hand. What do you got? Got triple Shatter again. Okay, just a Patrician. That's fine. What else do we think they are running? Nullpriest. Just name Shatter. It's card's pretty annoying. Library. And Graveyard. Okay, I don't know if there are board wipes anymore. Yeah, we'll take that block. Guess our opponent's giving up. Or just want that life gain trigger. Yeah, Patrician's pretty annoying. If they find something else, so, I mean, if that's their only creature, not really, even a veto doesn't really do much by itself, so. Giving us the Lotus Cobra. It's still a 3/2 threat. That's exactly lethal. Sweet. Taking down the clerics deck with the Shatter the Skies. Wow. Alright, against LJUBHR. Gotta go first. That'll work. There we go. Wow. I mean, double Drana, Visionary. A little awkward with the tap lands. We'll probably draw another land, hopefully. Let's play the Mauling for now. So you want to draw lands, so we keep the lands in our deck for now, I guess. And then we can Fabled Passage. There's a swamp. So crack the passage for a green source, play swamp, play Visionary. And then if that lives, we've got options open to us. Well, the Drana will probably just lead on Gargaroth if they kill it, then we got Drana next turn if they are removal for that. Then we'll get the Gargaroth back. Oh, that's annoying. That is annoying. We do get the ramp at least. Unless they kill it. Main deck Hushbringer. That's super cute. That's a very cute opponent. Alright, Gargaroth. See if they have removal for it. We can slow their Hushbringer down. And draw into some of our removal. Seriously, Orzhov life gain. So you're running some Heartless Axe or something. Attack. Reading the Gargaroth. That's smart. Alright, drawing lands here, so we'll crack this, get some lands out of the deck. Hopefully make it less likely we draw lands. Gargaroth. After that last person's playing so much removal, I think we'll just draw a card. Alright. Just take 6 here. Cool. Drana, come on down. If I don't have any removal here, we'll just cycle this to put something in our graveyard for Drana. Four cards in hand. 5 mana open. Not really sure how good Hushbringer really is in the current meta. Baneslayer is pretty good. I'd like to find some removal for that. I like that. It's pretty good. Oh, we can do both. Can absolutely do both. Whew. Big brains right there. Look out. Oh, draw. I mean, they're an Orzhov, so they gotta have lots of removal. And we're not having any removal in our hand, so try to draw into more removal. Oh, how'd that get in my graveyard? 12-12 trample. What you got, buddy? Your Hushbringer, your Indulgent Patrician, they gonna save you? Not looking too good for the home team, for the away team, I should say. Yeah, you're growing your Hushbringer over there. Anything else? A life gain player. Nullpriest of Oblivion. Can we all just take a moment to appreciate Nullpriest of Oblivion kicked with a Hushbringer in play, their own Hushbringer in play, and they tried to kick their Nullpriest of Oblivion. Can we just take a second to appreciate the beauty of that play? Just the big brains there. Gotta Love that. Yeah, let's cycle this now. Give you Death Touch. Yeah. Draw a card. Oh, Space Godzilla, where'd you come from? We got Death Touch and Trample, so 1 to the creature, which had 1 toughness anyway, and the rest to your face. Alright, so a little bit of misplay from our opponent there, but we're in a pretty commanding spot. Baneslayer Angel, definitely need to make sure we can deal with that. Definitely want to deal with Baneslayer Angel, that's pretty rough. They do have lots of small creatures as well. So we got the Bloodchief there, which we can kick and kill a Baneslayer. So again, I think we want to deal with some of their Hushbringer, Patrician. I'm sure they're running Veto. We also need to deal with Baneslayer Angel and any bigger threats they might have like that. So a lot of flyers, things like that. So obviously we're pretty lucky with our Gargaroth there, but you know, if they're able to deal with our Drana, we don't find our Gargaroth, then we don't have a way to protect our Nissa from their flyers. And just 3 power with Menace, maybe not quite good enough to deal with their 4 toughness, a lot of 4 toughness threats. So they have a little bit of graveyard recursion, so maybe Ooze, but I don't know if I want to take away too much from our plan here. I think they'll just eliminate some of their smaller threats. Necromentia as well, like Nullpriest or Baneslayer Angel. Not terrible. Again, didn't see the removal package, so we don't know if it's enchantment based, so we'll leave the Return Natures in the sideboard for now. And they didn't seem to be very removal heavy from what we saw there, so Vivien can stay aside for now. But depending on how this game goes, maybe they sideboard, bring in a bunch of you know, Shadow the Skies or whatever. A couple temples, some removals. Seems pretty solid. Definitely holding the Hagra Mauling as a kill spell. Just scry into removal or lands or Drana or something like that. Got the Visionary on 3 unless they got the Hushbringer again. Oh, Mulligan down to 5. That's pretty rough. Well, there's a Gargaroth again. Apparently our deck loves us. We have 3 lands, so we'll keep the Murderous Rider even though we have another one in hand. Like we want lots of removal. Nullpriest. And now I'll probably want like a land. There we go. Magic's easy, draw what you want. Alright, so Nullpriest, don't want to let it stick around too long, but I'd like to get this Visionary down, I think. Okay. We'll hold up Murderous Rider, see if they have that enchantment or something again. Kill Hushbringer, try to draw a card off the Visionary. Obviously, Nullpriest is the one we'd rather kill, but Alright, so this can't be blocked by creatures power 3 or greater, so we can block the Princess with our Visionary. Well, there's Veto, so that's a good target for us. Alright, definitely need to deal with the Veto. It's going to tax us quite a bit. Fortunately, just 2 mana open to us. Already down to 7. That Nullpriest with Menace is pretty rough. And double Murderous Rider obviously hasn't really helped our case either. Again, Gargaroth next turn. If that survives, that'll help us stabilize. Let's have removal for it, and then we're in kind of bad shape. Yeah, we'll take that. Cheap removal. 2 cards in hand. You got a kill spell, a veto. I think either one of those probably gets us. So we can't block the Princess or the Nullpriest. So we're taking at least 3 here. 29 life, no reason for them not to attack. Alright, well, fortunate opponent just got off to a pretty good start there with Nullpriest, Hushbringer. We chose to prioritize the veto over Nullpriest, and maybe that wasn't the right play. Maybe casting Murderous Rider instead of some other removal wasn't the right play either, because obviously sped up their clock a little bit. There's a Drana. We'll definitely keep that. So, not a big fan of these life gain decks in general, but they are what they are. Obviously, they can do things if you don't have the right answers at the right time. I mean, it's a land. Found all 4 Temple of Maladies within our first 8 cards. Okay. Sure, we'll keep that. Alright, so probably Beanstalk Giant here, unless, yeah. I don't think there's any real reason to cycle here. Okay, definitely need to deal with that. I mean, that's pretty explosive, and we're kind of stuck on lands here. Alright, Beanstalk. No, need removal here. We had all the removal last game, and just the 1 right now. Absolutely have to deal with this princess. Hey, Veto is going to hit us pretty hard as well. Down to 7. Feels good. Our graveyard of that. You can just embrace the princess here and probably kill us in a couple turns. Definitely in a very tenuous position here. Doesn't feel good losing to these decks, but it is what it is. Oh, life gain. How I loathe thee. Alright, I mean, our opponent drew really well there. Played it well, you know, made the correct plays at the correct times. Fortunately, we were stocked up on removal in game 2, but maybe didn't quite play it optimally. And then game 3, we just didn't really find enough removal, and they killed us with some Princess and Demonic Embrace. Feels good. Alright, I mean, obviously it's not the most competitive deck, but certainly is fun, and it can at least hold its own, you know. We didn't just get steamrolled or anything there. Lots of cool things we can do here with Drana, getting back these creatures out of the graveyard after they've been cycled and things like that. Like, once you get your engine going, it's pretty powerful. Obviously, Golgari, we have lots of good removal. The Hagra Mauling, Murderous Rider, Bloodchief Thirst gives us tons of removal, lots of cheap interaction as well. So it definitely helps our case in a lot of situations. The one of Quest and Beast is pretty cool as well, just giving you the deck a little bit different flavor, along with the 2 Elder Gargaroth. So we're not all in on the Drana plan, because obviously there's a fair amount of graveyard hate in the format, thanks to the Rakdos mid-range list and things like that that have really tried to abuse Escape, trying to kind of counteract the rogue strategies and things like that. But yeah, the Visionary kind of drawing his cards and then be able to play you know, the Drana or the Gargaroth on curve feels pretty good. And just like I did with the Rakdos version, you know, typically you want to play your Drana after the fact. You know, maybe if you have a Gargaroth or something first, you know, play that so that if your opponent has a removal, they kill it, and then you have something in your graveyard to get back with Drana. Because Drana is the one that you really want to keep alive, because that's kind of the main focus. of the deck. And then yeah, Sideboard feels pretty good. Like kind of gives us a lot of answers to a variety of threats. You know, the Ooze for the graveyard hate. You know, we're pretty balanced on colors, so generally shouldn't be a problem with casting the Ooze and then actually activating it to actually eat some things out of the opponent's graveyard. You know, their Croxa or you know, whatever the case may be, Pelucanos, or just eating cards in general just to gain some life or take away, you know, any spells they're trying to get back. The one of Necromentia, you know, Ugin is such of a stupid card. You need some way to deal with it, so this allows us to be a little bit proactive and kind of get rid of those. E2 Extinction as well to go with on Murderous Riders for some Planeswalker hate can also help us deal with Ugin, or anytime we need exile removal. It's really great to help us grind. Feel pretty good with the Eliminates. And instead of Agonized Remorse, running the Duress, because we can just keep our curve basically the same, take out the Bloodchief first for Duress, and it kind of fills a little bit of a similar role. If we need to take a Planeswalker like that, you know, we can. Otherwise, you know, we still have the Murderous Riders, and we can, you know, if we're worried about Planeswalkers, we can still bring inside in the E2 Extinctions, you know, depending on the matchup. Although a lot of the control decks, though, Nissa still works pretty good because they don't necessarily have, they have lots of sweepers and things like that. So Nissa making lands into creatures just for just for your turn kind of dodges a lot of those, you know, Shadow of the Sky type effects and that kind of thing. But yeah, pretty fun list. Not the most competitive, but can do okay in ranked. It's not necessarily if you're really focused on trying to rank up the ladder, it's not necessarily my first choice, but if they can definitely hold its own on the ladder. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Till next time, make sure you jank with